Let's go ahead and get started. I'm excited to show everyone the new image annotator and all of its functionality. So obviously on a contact or a project in ProLine, as you're familiar with, you can have photos and files listed there. So what's new here with our photos and files is that you can now annotate these. I'm gonna go ahead and click on one of these, or let me show you first. So I'm in a project and then I chose files. And I'm gonna go to one of these homes here. Let's go to this bigger one, edit, have an image of the house with the roof. And I wanna go ahead and start editing this photo. First, I have the pen tool, and this is just allows me to draw. I can actually choose what color I would like for this to be by moving this dial or using the letter number system here below. Save, I like this blue color. I can also change the width on this. So you're gonna want to select what you're annotating and then choose how you're going to do it. If I click out of this, it'll let me keep annotating this. You notice these little black dotted lines around the line that I created here. And I can also update the opacity of this. I could make this super far to the left, so it's very, very light. Or I can keep it over here so I have a strong color on the page. I can create squares. So obviously every time I add something to this, it's going to be red, or as you can see, probably not obviously, but here we go. I have green. Let's save that. And I can update the width on this as well and the opacity again. So now I have this square. I can move this around too. So maybe I want to have this for whatever reason over right here. Uh, we can create circles. So a couple of different shape options. These can be as big, thin, or wide as you want. So maybe I want to go ahead, I want to point something out specifically right here. I'm going to leave that one red, but again, you can change the color and the opacity and width of that shape. We can use this highlighter to highlight specific things. So maybe I want to highlight this for some reason. Okay, so I've got the highlighter here. And I'm gonna just try to get this whole section highlighted. How about that? I can change, in this case, I can change the stroke and the fill. So the stroke is going to be that outside line that we were working with that's red. The fill is going to be the color on the inside of this highlight. So I'm going to go ahead and make this yellow. So you can see I have that red stroke is what we're calling it, and the yellow fill. I can move this around still. Nothing is set in stone as far as, as I'm annotating and moving stuff around the page. The only thing that will set these annotations in stone is going to be if I crop this image, and I'll show you that at the end. I have arrows, so the arrows are fun. I'm going to go ahead and just make one right here, make it a little bit larger. Ooh, that's a big one. But I've got an arrow, make this, actually the red's kind of good. I'm gonna leave this one red. Let's create some lines. So maybe this pen drawing didn't really do justice of what I was trying to get done here. So I'm going to delete it and use the line functionality to draw a straight line across this roof there. And with the line, you still have that stroke color that can be changed, the width and the opacity. And at any point, I can reset this entire photo. So I can get rid of all of these annotations. And I can also go back, or forward, just based on what I need to do. Okay, my favorite I think is going to be this polygon. I'm going to delete a couple of these so that you can see this really clearly. The polygon allows you some flexibility. I'm going to outline this whole roof here, this one. All right. Um, oop, that one was not on purpose, but here I go, just creating this. I'm outlining the whole thing here, not very well, but I think you can understand what I'm trying to do. Uh, I can also add a ruler. So let me go ahead and try to, I don't want it to be like that. Okay, so let's say that I am going to measure from here to here on this roof. So I'm going to go to my rule and do this. And I have this ruler section showing. It's not giving me the measurement, but I have the measurements, right? If I'm doing this quote. So I'm going to just choose the color that I want this to show and the width. So maybe I want to make this really clear, or small is probably good. And then you can just add text in for um the measurement itself. So like, let's say this is 12 feet and I want this to be smaller and I want it to match as close as possible to the color of that ruler that I put in there. And so I have that annotation as well. You can be really clear with your customers on, how you've quoted this and where certain things are located with all of these tools. The text we just went through. So again, just clicked on that to create a text box, and I can uh, say whatever I want to say here in the text box and change the size. Let's try the comment feature. So maybe I want to comment here. And this is like highlighted text, right? So maybe I want to say needs replacement. And the size of this is going a little crazy. So I'm going to move it over there. I have this little blue spot at the top here, so I can move this around. Maybe that would actually be a really good way to do this measurement instead of the text box on that 12 feet that I did. And this one you can update the stroke, which again is the outside of the tool, the fill, which is going to be the filler. So I'll like make this yellow, and then the color of the text itself. So we'll just choose a random color. All right. I guess I didn't choose that. Okay, let's go to frame. And so when I'm going to do a frame, okay, I'm going to create another text box, but if I drag down, which I hope you can see here, I can create a text box above a framed image. I'm going to delete a couple of things to make this clearer. So I have, there we go. And now I can just edit my text from here and have this framed. If I choose this, I can also make this really clear with the width formatting, and also update the opacity, the size of the text, the stroke, fill, and color. So a lot of flexibility on that feature. One that I think is really good is going to be icon. So let's say that we want to enter the number 1. I have it quite big here, but maybe we just want to just have a 1 here. 2. We do intend to add more icons. So if anybody has any good ideas about how you might use this part of the tool, would love to hear some feedback. So here's my 3. All right, so here's a couple of the icons that we have with some numbers. And we also have the ability to add images. So I'm going to go ahead and enter an image. I can use one of the other images I have on this project or in the company files, or I can upload an image. So maybe I'll upload from my desktop and I will choose my logo. I'm going to add that image. And here's my logo up here in the top right corner now. Uh, the cropping warning that I wanted to let you know about was just simply that if I crop this image, which is a really great tool, I cannot edit these annotations anymore that are on this image. So I can add to this image, but I can't go back and delete and make other um, edit these annotations specifically. So if you're going to crop, the best practice is going to be to go ahead and crop first before you start annotating and then move forward with your annotations so that unless you want these to be set in stone, go ahead and crop it and that will be completely fine. And again, we expect more updates for icons and other parts of this feature, roofing specific symbols. We're going to be adding stuff over time. Um, but yeah, so the annotation tool, really great way to, highlight problem areas on an image, just create clear and professional parts for your quotes. I'm going to go ahead and save this wild annotation that I have and just check if there are questions and I can jump back into the tool anytime. Can you set default colors different? I actually tried that myself today, and I don't think we can set default colors just yet. So that would be a good idea for the tool, I think, Ryan. Thanks for that question. Okay, let me see what other questions we have. Hmm. Is there a way to attach text automatically next to lines, circles, and arrows similar to company camera? Do you have to manually place a text box? So the automatic text box that happens is really with that frame feature that gives you the square or rectangle value, but I'm not seeing that option to automatically add a text box with a circle or other shapes. And can multiple people annotate the picture at the same time? I have not tried that. If I'm being completely honest, I have not tried that myself. So that would be something I would want to go ahead and look at. I would imagine you have to save it, but let me, well, I guess that was from an anonymous attendee, so I don't know if I'll be able to get back to you on that, but we'll definitely find out and maybe we'll just send out that answer once we have it. All right. Well, thanks so much, John. I appreciate that. Uh, if there are no more questions, then I will let you all go. I really appreciate your time and happy Tuesday. Bye, everyone.